Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Ginspirations. I'm Dr. Oates, and I am so excited about this episode. I actually have fun preparing this one. So many of the most important conversations that happen in women's health begin with embarrassment. As an OBGYN and a woman myself, I know that we carry a lot of questions inside of us. Questions that we're afraid to ask because we don't want to seem ignorant. Questions that we go to our doctors and our OBGYN visits and whisper, or we even hesitate to open our mouth and ask them. If you are the person that's scrolling Google at 2 o'clock in the morning because you've got questions, this episode is for you. I am here to let you know that embarrassment should never, ever, ever stand between you and learning the information that you need to learn about your body. So let's get started. Today I'm going to answer just a few of the top questions that I get that women are afraid to actually ask their OBGYNs. The first one is, Dr. Oates, is it okay that I'm here while I'm on my period? Let me reassure you, the answer to that question is probably yes. There are so many things that we can do in your examination while you're on your period. Pap smears can be performed, pelvic exams can be performed, and depending on the reason that you're there, say you're at the visit because you want to talk about your heavy periods. If you're actually on your menstrual, that flow and our ability to visualize that bleeding pattern can actually give us more information about what's going on with your body. There is one particular instance in which you may want to reconsider scheduling your appointment at a different time, and that's if you've made that appointment to have your vaginal discharge evaluated. So, vaginal discharge is oftentimes assessed using the vaginal pH. And if you're on your period, the blood that's in the vagina can actually affect our ability to accurately diagnose what's going on. So that is the one instance that you may want to call and reschedule if your period happens to come on the same day that you have an appointment to have your vaginal discharge checked. Otherwise, trust me, we as OBGYNs are not afraid of blood. We are not afraid of your period. Let's be honest, it's kind of what keeps us in business, right? Yeah, so bring it on. The second question that we hear a lot, and it's oftentimes whispered, is it normal to have an odor? The answer to that question is probably yes. Our bodies are not made to be odorless. Our natural pheromones and smells are actually what oftentimes attract us to our mates. And depending on where you are in your cycle, your vaginal discharge and the pH will change the odor in your vagina. So when you're on your period, the pH in your vagina is more basic than when you're not on your period, where the pH is more acidic. Social media and the culture that we live in will make us believe that our vaginas are supposed to smell like soap and flowers and roses. That is not the reality. Most women have their own unique body odor, and that is normal for them. There are times in which that odor should bring about a red flag. For instance, if you notice a fishy odor, or if you notice itching or burning, if you notice that your discharge has a musty odor, that may be a reason to come in, and I'd suggest that you consider making an appointment with your OBGYN to have that particular odor further checked. The third question that I hear a lot is my vaginal discharge normal? Again, don't hesitate. Ask these questions. That's actually a natural question, and it shows that you're paying attention to what's going on in your body. I love answering this question because while I'm answering it, it actually speaks to the perfect design that God has created for our bodies. Let me give you an example. During ovulation, and even the days leading up to ovulation, this phase is called the follicular phase. Our vaginal discharge naturally during this phase is oftentimes clear to white, It's oftentimes really wet and slippery. And if you get a little bit of it and stretch it between your fingers, you'll notice it's very stringy. Try it. This is by design. During this phase of our menstrual cycle, this is when a woman is most fertile. So if you think about it, this thin, watery discharge makes it easier for sperm to make their way to an egg in order to cause pregnancy. And so the discharge during this phase is naturally designed to allow for sperm to survive. Isn't that something? And then in contrast, during the luteal phase of our cycle, our discharge is oftentimes thicker. And that's because the predominant hormone during that phase is a hormone called progesterone. And progesterone will make our cervical mucus much thicker. Think about the way that the birth control hormone in the IUD works. It actually doesn't stop ovulation, does it? It actually works by thickening our cervical mucus and making it so that it's more difficult for sperm to penetrate. And then it also acts on the lining of the uterus. We'll talk about that in another episode. But again, discharge is there. It's meant to be a natural lubricant, a natural protection against infection, and it's meant to be a natural way that the body cleanses itself. Now, again, there are instances in which discharge should be something that is checked. For instance, if you notice that instead of your discharge being clear or white, it's more yellow or even green and gray, that could be a sign of infection. Don't let it scare you. Pay attention and come on in and see us. Or if you notice that discharge has an odor, say it's smelling a little bit fishy or a little bit sweet and musty, that could be a sign of an infection as well. Again, we're not afraid. We're taking notes and we're paying attention. If your pH is off, don't be afraid to come in and see us. That's one of the most common reasons that women visit their OBGYNs in the first place. And that's what we're here for. We're not judging you. We are here to help. Okay? The last question that I'm going to answer today that I hear sometimes from my patients is, Dr. Oates, does my vagina look normal? Are my labia appropriate in size and length? And let me tell you, our bodies and our vulvas are just as unique as our faces. There is no vulva that looks the same. They are uniquely and wonderfully made for us. And it's about time that we challenge the culture and our society's new trend in trying to make us all look alike and embrace the unique bodies that we were given. No labia is the same color, shape, or size, and that is by design. Also, it's not uncommon for the labia to have a little bit of asymmetry. I encourage you to stop comparing yourself to what you're seeing on social media or what your friends are talking about, and rather start to embrace the beauty of who you are. I also encourage you to examine your own body, become familiar with what's normal for you so that you're able to share if you notice that something is off. Our labia will change as we grow. When we're younger, they tend to be smaller. And then once we hit puberty and adulthood, due to estrogen, our labia will elongate and become fuller. And then in menopause, we have a lack of estrogen or a lower amount of estrogen in our bodies, and our labia will actually shrink. And sometimes they even disappear. Okay, so if you notice that happening, it's normal. If you're concerned about it, speak up. Open your mouth and say, I've noticed this change. And then trust that your doctor or your provider is going to help you determine whether or not that's a normal change or that's something that needs to be addressed. I hope this episode has helped reaffirm and empower you to ask those difficult questions, ask those questions that you're afraid to ask. It's oftentimes the questions that we whisper that are the ones that need to be answered in order for us to be free. I really enjoyed preparing for this episode, so much so that I went ahead and made an email. Going forward, you can send your questions to me at ask@gynspirations.com. That's ask@GYN, spiration.com. I really enjoyed this top questions that we're afraid to ask our OBGYNs, and I think there's more. So help me make this a more interactive community. Send me your questions, send me your comments, and I will keep them anonymous, I promise. So send them to me and I'll answer them as they come in, and I'll also share a few of them with you all publicly, but anonymously. All right, that's this episode. I'm Dr. Oates. Remember that freedom in your body is your birthright, but having the faith that it can happen is actually what makes it possible. Thank you for being here. I'll see you again soon.